Hello and welcome to Western Culture Explained, where we explain the food, festivals, myths, and entertainment of Western countries. Today we will discuss the myth of Loki. Loki is a god in Norse mythology. Scholars still debate what role he played in Old Norse folklore, but most see him as a trickster god. Loki's origins are unclear, and his loyalties shift as often as his shape. He sometimes helps the gods and sometimes hurts them. Loki is a compelling and interesting character, which is why he has appeared in numerous books, films, and TV shows. Who is this handsome devil anyway? To understand Loki, you need to understand a little about Norse mythology. The primary group of gods is the Aesir. Odin is their leader. Loki may or may not be a member of the Aesir. He's a bit of an outsider. One source says that Loki's mother was a female giant named Laufey, which would mean that Loki is a descendant of the enemies of the Aesir. The other Aesir tolerate Loki hanging around, but are often annoyed by his antics. Loki is witty, sharp-tongued, and murderous. In one story, Loki joins an insult contest at a dinner party. The winner is the one who creates the cleverest poem to insult his opponent. Loki wins, of course, but he ruins the evening by murdering one of the host's servants. The other gods then chase Loki into the woods, where he escapes their wrath. At another dinner party, the Aesir get drunk and start a little game. The god Balder is invulnerable to almost everything. Nothing can hurt him, except mistletoe. The drunk Balder dares the other gods to throw whatever they can at him, which they do. It's all good fun as Balder can't get hurt, but then Loki gets an idea. He makes a spear out of mistletoe and gives it to Balder's blind brother to throw. Balder is hit by the poison spear and dies. The gods are enraged and saddened. Balder was considered the most noble of Odin's sons. Not all the stories about Loki are so grim. My favorite story about him involves a goat and a giant woman. Unfortunately, this story is not school appropriate, but you should definitely look it up. It is hilarious. Look up The Marriage of Njord and Skadi. Loki continues to intrigue people to this day. He has been depicted in a variety of ways. Some have depicted him as a heroic Prometheus-like character. Others have thought of him as a dangerous villain hiding amongst the gods. Because he is also a shapeshifter who occasionally switches genders, more recent artists have been inspired to depict him as gender fluid. Perhaps the most famous and popular version of Loki is the one from the Avengers movie franchise. In those movies, Loki is a devilishly handsome rogue who loves his mother and no one else. If you'd like to read more stories about Loki, you can try the Prose Edda and the Poetic Edda. They were written in the 13th century and are the traditional sources of information about Loki. If you want to read something more modern, try Marvel Comics. By the way, never invite Loki to your dinner party. He is the worst.